So I was redoing these moments again, and now Sif is asking themselves, this is the right thing to redo these moments. The moments where you hang out with all the characters and help them out. Making sure they're happy, making sure they like you. Well, who are you doing this for? And there's the seed of doubt, right? And again, we talked about this last time about like the morality of the situation, the idea of like, either going through, legitimately like, trying to find out what they like or what they're into, or, you're using a time loop to go around and kind of like help them out in that way by like, using knowledge that they haven't given you, I guess, if that makes sense. But I still think in my heart that Sif enjoys being around these characters and wants to help them. So I think there is like obviously like an element of like so normal that Sif is like questioning themselves right now. But also at the same time, I think that like that doubt is always going to be in your head. By the way, my name is Calvin, also known as Norman, and this is my first ever playthrough of In Stars in Time. Bring you okay? Want more snacks? You smile. Yes, please. Then eat. Eat as much as you want. Yeah, I wanted to just make sure that got in the video there when it changed there. The way I did it was like I redid everyone's conversation. It took about 10 minutes to redo everyone's conversation, but then I zoned out but I don't know if zoning out like affects anything, but I zoned out for the Bonnie stuff because there's a lot of combat in it. Not because I don't like Bonnie, I love Bonnie. But yeah, I made sure I talked to everybody in this situation. Yeah, but today, you're doing this for them. Yes, you're sure of it. Okay, you can have that in our mind now. And again, it's so normal to have those doubts. You want them to be happy, yes. And you want to make them happy forever. It's the least you can do, right? It's what they deserve, isn't it? Again, it's always like a question, right? At the end of everything. They didn't ask to be here. So you have to make sure everything is perfect. We have to find a tier to loop forward, I guess, as well. That's stupid sadness again. Stand still like usual or attack? Attack? A sadness, huh? The house must be crawled to him. Okay, everyone, let's, you strike. So annoying. You have enough of all the stupid sadness standing in your blood. Oh, no. I chose attack because it was different, right? It was a different option, but always getting in your way, always slowing you down. Why won't they all die? Not dead yet? What? You strike again. Not oh, no. That is oh, no. Sif, oh, no. And then one eye as well, just... Oh, the smile afterwards, I got it. Oh, no, that was the one... Odile is holding the rest of the group back. They've never seen Sif like this. Wait, what? Sadness, huh? Wait, what just happened? Did we loop back again? Or did that just happen in our mind? Did we loop back again? We'll have to check. I don't know what the loops were last time, actually. But we can check on the save point. Yeah, we can check on the save point. Holy freaking hell. It's interesting to implement a mechanic that involves defeating the same creatures over and over and over and over again, and for the character to like feel that mentally. I talked about this game makes me feel sick. It makes me feel sick sometimes. And the feeling of Siffrin looking back, smiling at their party and their family, as Odile holds back everyone else to protect. Let's just be honest, because they're worried about what Sif is doing. They've never seen Sif like this before. And there's always a difference between defeating your enemy and slaughtering them and making sure that they feel pain and stuff like this. And that's what Sif was doing. What a freaking scene again. Here again. Yeah, we stay silent and skip this stuff as well. Because we have to get to it. We have to loop forward, right? That's what we want to do, to get back to the king and talk to the king. Don't kill it in one strike or they'll notice. That's... Oh my god, what? Wait a second. Because Odile was noticing something for sure, and Odile continues to notice something. And because we're so powerful now at this stage, at this start of the loop, we're so powerful. That is... I don't know why I use scissors on, but it doesn't matter anyway. Because we're so powerful, of course they're going to notice how powerful we are at this stage. We're much more powerful than they are. You know what I mean? Much more powerful. That is so interesting. We have to think about that now. Siffrin? You jump and laugh awkwardly. Take the lead, take the lead, take the lead. This saying the same stuff over and over in your head again. They're all counting on you. Don't scare them by acting weird. Oh, God. You got a memory of sadness. You'll always remember this. When equipped, sadness will flee from... It's like a holy water or something. We're level 62 compared to 45. That is a massive change. In terms of equipping stuff as well, we have Memory of Faith, which is 30 to all stats. Yeah, I think this is good to have it on as well. What's Bonnie's one? Bonnie will never miss. I think maybe it's one that we have on then, actually. Memory of Defeat. That gives XP? Maybe I'm wrong. That's a big max HP boost, by the way. That's a massive XP boost. And I think it's so interesting now that, again, mechanics are bleeding into story. Right? The fact that we're leveling up so much constantly means we are like much more powerful than them, and now we're weary. Now, like, imagine we have to all the stuff we already have to think about this looping stuff. We're not only thinking about keeping them happy, making sure they're happy in every single loop, making sure they don't die, wanting to keep everyone safe. But now we're thinking about we shouldn't do too much damage just in case they notice something off. We shouldn't act too scared or weird because then they'll notice something's off. We have to... Siffrin has to stand on their toes and walk on their tippy toes, walking over broken glass every single moment now, worrying about what they might perceive about them. So crazy to even think about. I'm looking for a tier, honestly. Yes, that's how I decided to wear it, but you can wear it however you want. As a necklace, as a necklace, design your choice. Not at all. Breaking tradition is also part of change belief. Oh my God, they say something different here. And the teardrops on your brooch. Pretty. Goes ding ding when I walk. Oh, that's lovely. Don't you love when things go ding ding when you walk? Sure do. Well, but the big circle isn't inside anything? It's inside your hand, Siffrin, and you're inside this room, which is inside the house, so it's inside something, which is inside Dormont, inside Vagard, inside this world, which is here. She points at the smallest circle of the keychain. It's to remind us that as much as we change, we are still part of this world, and we almost do our part to make it a wonderful place. But the world isn't inside anything? No, silly. What would it be inside of? The universe? They're all staring at you confused. Funny joke. Funny joke, yeah. Stars, why would you say that? You put the key in your pocket. Again, we have to worry about every small thing we say. It is really pretty that now Mirabelle is taking on our conversation to heart, right? But it's still like... It's the undertone now of all the things that Siffrin is saying is like... There's always something there, right? There's always like something they have to worry about. They can't just like be themselves. Oh! They can't just be themselves fully. I just remembered this room, it's... Yeah, just in case. I nearly got trapped again. Let's go, everyone. You know what I mean? Like, it's... We talked about this before, and we said at the start of the game it was going to happen like this. Honestly. We said at the start of this game this was going to happen like this. And that, yes, when we first looped the first time, we felt like we were the most invincible. Siffrin felt like they were invincible. But now, through all the stuff that they've seen, all the horrible stuff that they've, like, again, it's horrible. The hangout with Loop was horrific. It was pretty at times, but like, it was like really horrific to think about characters, like our characters dying and stuff like this as well, right? Very, very horrible. It's come to the time now where the looping ability makes Siffrin, I feel like anyway, makes them feel even more hopeless than they did before. You know what I mean? Or helpless, I should say. It feels like they're way more helpless than they were before. We're going over to the king, right? Yeah. To the last point we saved. You wake up. You dreamt that you're eating a rotten apple? Your stomach hurts already. Oh my god. I want to look at the save point here to see the last point I saved at. Let me see here. So the last loop we had was loop 36. The current loop we have is 38. So we did loop that time. Something happened that made us loop backwards. So is that another roadblock to our journey? Just like when the king defeats us, it's not us dying. Could we go no further with that group? Would it be a thing where now we can't go any further, so they sent us back? And that's what it was. So how's everyone's level? Yeah, this is about right? For sure. For sure. Let's go talk to the king, right? It's very dark. It's just very dark like all the time. It's just so dark every second day. 1 second here. Memory skirmish. Oh my god. Here we go again. And now we have more knowledge about the timecraft stuff, right? So we have like the ability to do that. Fast forward this as well because we want to ask them, let's just get right into it. I know, he'll speech prepared too. Get ready, everyone. Wait, you, traveler. Will they have something new to say this time? Old you looks at you with an expression screaming, does he mean me or you? You look back at the king. Bright one. Do you remember? Nothing new today, so we'll say I remember you. We still have to ask him about timecraft, right? Because we have a better understanding now. Sure. So let's start with craft ask. There it is, the timecraft. Timecraft? I suppose I am. But if you're using timecraft, how did you manage to control it? Yeah, because we know all the new ideas around it. Timecraft should use immeasurable amounts of power that no mere human could have. So how... Yes, it's true. I could not have harvested this timecraft on my own. So there's someone helping. So I had some help. Help? Who would? Oh, isn't it obvious? The universe would. Like we said earlier. Oh my god. We already said that earlier about the universe into our group. I only had to wish for it. So you wished it for the universe and the universe delivered. The universe? Who is that? A person? Nah, it's... Wow, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't seem to remember it. It's what's beyond this place. Plain correct? What's in the sky? You clench your fist. The king sobs. Oh, I knew Guardians were ignorant of it, but I did not think travelers from other countries were too. How could you have? Guardians, huh? Interesting choice of word. Are you not from Vagard yourself? He is a Madame Odile. I feel like I've seen an article about it somewhere recently. I saw it today. Where was it again? So you're not from Vagard, but you still want to freeze it in time because he believes it's the most beautiful place in the world. Where do you call home then? The king flinches. He did not answer. You shake your head and breathe out. An article about the king somewhere. Oh my god, we have another loop to do as well. If Maribel remembers, you might have seen it somewhere too. Is it going to be somewhere in the castle? Where could... Do we remember an article about the... Should we have checked it out? Oh my god. There's like so many things you could do with a loop in this, right? So many things. I don't know. Could it be somewhere in the house? Yeah, the house, I mean, yeah. Ask the king. So we have to do, once again, we have to do another loop. And again, I don't find it disinteresting, right? At all. I don't at all. We'll just search. We'll just have to search everywhere, like from top to bottom, I guess. Honestly, like at some point, if I get annoyed with like searching, which I don't know if I will, I guess we can just like, wait. Couldn't we die during this and then go through the whole castle again and then do, or should we not? Should we practice this a little bit? What do you guys think? Well, look, we're gonna loop anyway, but then we'd have to loop all the way back to but then we'd have to die. Yeah, it might be better to actually just like to pass away. I know that sounds so bad. It might be better to pass away, because then we'd have to redo all the things if you wanted the stats again and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm kind of up for that. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I feel very bad that we're doing this, because this is a horrible way to die. Yeah, freaking hell. You don't have the strength to go on. Here again. Oh my god. Can we fast forward this? Can we please fast forward this? Please. And that's so horrible, so could you kill me first? And then I just, it's the tug in your stomach and everything. Yeah, the king killed you again. So we're gonna have to start from the bottom of the house and just like, wait, hold on a second. Unlock everything. And then we'll go back up, right? And it won't take us that long to just learn or to go through all the floors, right? It won't take us that long. The king defeated you once again. You remember Bonnie fleeing. Their footsteps becoming fainter and fainter. If time goes on after you die, you hope. And that's the thing, back to it. If time does go on after we die, then what we have here is a very horrific thing to think about, because then there's so many times here. Like, you know, for example, the time in which we're gonna have to fight them. Yeah, we can't. These guys are so good at honing in on us. We're gonna have to think about the time when we remember when like say Boniface pushed us by accident right into the tier, and if they're already feeling so guilty about like what happened with and it's so dark to think about, but like, you know, if they're already feeling guilty about that, then how guilty do the other characters feel? How does Bonnie feel like when they have to be alone in this situation? Like, it's not a good feeling leaving them on their own. Let's try and reset these guys here. What? I was not even touching you. Yeah, so we're gonna have to like, these guys hone in on you so much. And honestly, like, I do think, here's the thing, like, I'm totally freaking honest. Like, as I said, the battles aren't annoying or anything like that. But it is like, kind of like, you do feel it when you have to do like multiple battles, like sometimes on, they keep honing in on you. And I think it's intentional now that we saw that scene with Siffrin. I think the characters, like, Siffrin's also like, look at all these enemies they have to fight as well. It's not here, is it? An anvil. Oh. Yeah, there's no like documents here. There's like stuff on like the wall that you can usually read, but it's covered by this as well, so. No, how do you hold in so quickly on me? Oh, it's Big Hands McGraw. I'm Big Hands McGraw. Wouldn't it be fun if we had a fight? No, it wouldn't be right now. I have to look for something. Oh. Spoiler sport. Where's this? No, we went here last time to get the information about the... But there is like a lot of stuff here though, right? Some roll of papers, you unroll one. Oh my, the paper's filled with sketches of naked people doing fun things. You're kind of grossed out by them. Oh my. Neat. Show me, I can see what it is. Nope. Oh no, 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 no. Maribel hurriedly covered Body's eyes, making them take 2 sets back. But I want to see. No, 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 it's not allowed. You're not allowed. It's not for little ones, Boniface. Yep, can't let you do that, Bonbon. Body looks straight at you. Freen, can I look? Definitely not. Oh. Oh! So it's really not. Because probably Siffrin would let them do a little bit more dangerous stuff, maybe. Why did it take Siffrin saying it for you to realize? Free lets me do things when you guys say no sometimes. But even if free is not allowed, then it must be something really not allowed. So I will look. Well, good. Siffrin. What the crap did you let Bonnie do when we said no? Well, he let me drink. What? He let you drink some vodka once? Huh? What? Siffrin? Well, I don't really get why Odile likes it though. It tasted just like boring water. Give them a black glass of water. Sorry. That sounds like an amazing practical joke to play at a kid, actually. You think it was funny, yeah. Well, like, it's actually, like, sometimes it is funny. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like, you're drinking vodka, right? And I'd have, like, a glass of water or, like, a glass of orange juice, like, oh, it's cider or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a joke. That's so funny, though, that, like, that Bonnie has their moral compass based around, whether Siffrin will let them do something or not is very funny. Some roll of papers, you unroll one. It's a bunch of sketches of landscapes. There's nothing more to be found. Some tiny paintings they must have crafted to move, but they've been frozen in time. We can't look at the papers on the ground. Some notes. The handwriting is so terrible you can barely read what's on it. Some papers. They seem to be very snoopy rares. There we go. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. We don't have to go through the whole place. You never looked at them very closely before, have you? You take a step forward. So many articles about the king. His conquest is slow enough that the Guardian press had time to write about him. I remember that. Wow. So that's a good little bit of input there as well. Like, because it took such a slow time. It's the same thing with like, I'm watching a show called Happiness, or I was watching a show called Happiness. It's finished now. But one of the cool things about that is because like, again, it's not a spoiler because it's in the description of the show. It's about like an infection, right? That takes people. And because it's not something that just happens right away. Like, life still is happening for a bit, you know what I mean? So like it is kind of interesting when you see that like sometimes you can have things just like instantly happen and you have no time to even like document it, but we have actual documentation here about it, but there's no one to write them now. You will start reading some random articles. The article is about slow march to Dormont's house. This one's about him probably being from another country than Vagard. He really isn't Vagardian then. Well, apparently not. This article says there's no record of him anywhere up until he appeared out of thin air in his adulthood. Looks like he lived in the city of Corbeau for a few years before he became the king. So he was a traveler, like Freen and Deal? Please don't compare us to him, thank you. That's right. He did talk about Vagardians before. The way he phrased it did seem like he thought of Vagardians as people other than himself. And he said he thought of Vagard as welcoming. Always willing to welcome people in, even if it's something someone no name to speak of. So he felt incredibly welcome when he came from, was it for Beau? You should go and ask the king where he's from later. Oh, this article is about his fashion sense, huh? From what I heard, he does have a very distinctive hairstyle. This article is more about his armor, actually. They even include a sketch, look. Oh my god, it's a good sketch. Well, it's very shiny, I suppose. Very imposing. There's something that caught your attention, though. The patterns? Yeah, I think the patterns, right? The star patterns. It's just a weird losange. What's so weird about that? Those are stars. Stars? What's a star? The dots in the sky. Steve and I were just looking at them yesterday, remember? Oh. This article does mention his speech mannerisms. Stars and sky-related things seem to be something he comes back to often. Stars, huh? What could be interesting about them? Well, we met like a star, right? And they're very interesting. Is there someone in the house you could find? Is there someone in the house you could find? Wait, we have to find about stars as well? Oh, I know exactly where we have to go. I know exactly where we have to go. Which floor was that where we had to like, we can go to both floors. Which means we're gonna have to like die, by the way. Which is horrible again. Let's try and find it here. It's remember the astronomy place? Remember we got that place wrong before? Can you guys stop zoning in on me? No, we can't. Again, it's interesting to me that, like, again, I'm not going to lie and say I don't feel something. The battles are not bad at all, right? But when you have to do them over and over again, it's like, oh my god, this is like a law. And I think, again, the game is intentionally, like, that's a, like, unbelievably, like, artistic thing to do, in my opinion. It's, like, insane, like, that they pulled something like that off, you know what I mean? Like, to have Sif like, be like, I have to fight these guys again and again and again and again and again, over and over again. Like, you could totally understand, like, the frustration and the pain that comes along with that, right? And then, whilst we don't feel that, like, right? But I'm just like, I'm trying to get something done. I don't want to fight these guys. It is like this thing of, like, these sadnesses are always in the way. They're always here. They're always out to get us. They're always this. They're always that. You know what I mean? It is like a very, like, interesting thing in that sense. I think it's the 3rd floor, right? Am I wrong? Remember where we went the wrong way with the tears? I think it could be 3rd floor. Right? But would this already have the memory of that working? Let's try it out. So let's see now. So which way? We have to go this way, don't we, to get the thing? We'll know if it's there. It was here, wasn't it? Okay, we have to loop all... Unless we have it. Unless we have the... I imagine that they already opened it up for us. So we might have to loop back even further. Yeah, we don't have the crest. We have to loop back even further. Which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. But... because that was the room with the star crest. So we have to... which is... look, it's not that big of a deal. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. So we have to go back to the other floor. Which is hard to think about, but we have to. We already died and we have to go die again. Like, the loops, like, become almost, like, second nature at some point, but it's still really hard to, like, think about. Do you remember the place where we went in and we saw all the stars? It was like an astronomy room. That's what I'm thinking of. We still have to be wary because we're not at full power here as well. The double attacking? We're still going to hopefully do good damage as... It's probably better to attack the hand guy because they're going to attack anyway, right? The fist, bald fist, I should say. Because I feel like they're going to get absorbed anyway. Nice try. Nice try, bozos. We're the Bozo twins. Doing Bozo stuff. Let's do a pretty buffy friend. Let's then do just an attack here like this. Wait. Are we gonna get the attack, or are they gonna absorb them right now? Oh, wow. We could destroy them then, right? Or are they gonna be left with like a bit of health? No. No, they're absorbing them anyway, even though they died. Yeah, okay. But not a lot because they didn't, yeah. It sacrificed itself. It was already gone. They had nothing left. They had nothing left. Nothing to speak of. Nothing for anyone to give. They are truly done. Nice, Bonnie. Lovely. And to reiterate, by the way, I just want to let people know the spoiler rules for this game and every game as we go forward is always like, it'll be if I ask for like some help with something, like say last time I said, should I go to the thing again? And someone's like, you don't have to do that. That's perfect. But just remember that, like, and again, no one is upsetting me ever. I'm not upset or anything. I'm not going like, oh, what the hell? If it hasn't happened, we don't talk about it. That's just the basic way we'll go about it. If it hasn't happened, we don't speak of it. It's the best way to go about it. And that goes for pretty much everything as well. So I have to go through break time again. And this time we'll get the beautiful moment again as well. Wait, so we didn't get the moment this time, but I thought we... Is that because I zoned out with Bonnie? That's rough. Is that true? Because I thought this time Bonnie was like, hey, like... Oh no, this is a different conversation. Sorry, it's a different conversation. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. I think it's a different conversation. Someone you knew who... Crunching just like, oh, wait, what? Did we remember something about that as well? I gotta be careful with that too, because they're gonna give you new dialogue every once in a while as well. Yes. Now we have to go through this whole area. Wait. Yeah. So if anyone wants to tell me what I missed there, I'm gonna try my best to not mess that up again. And I apologize that I did mess that up again. I think we have to go here first, do we? It's always very confusing. Yeah, so I do apologize that I do miss some stuff like that sometimes, 100%. So I have to just be more wary. Because you're so used to just like tapping through stuff, right? That like you get so used to certain things. You understand what I'm saying, right? Like you get so used to doing this that then when it comes up, you're like, oh, this is a whole new thing. So I'll try my best to make sure if there's new dialogue, I'll make sure to read it. And it's here, right? I remember it was here. Please tell me I'm right. I remember going up here and it was this beautiful, beautiful, like, auditorium place. Yes! Whoa! Where are we? There's a big window there, see? There's lots in the sky, though. That's stars. Those are stars, right? Stars like the king's armor. Indeed. I love how they do... It's so masterfully done how they do this stuff in terms of the looping stuff. We should look around. There's a book in Kuban open at the table. You look all at Odile. We talked about this before, I guess. We're looking for information, I guess. A pile of papers, something written on them. Looks like a child tried to write down the first word. That's sure some awful handwriting. And a determined child. Looks like they tried to write the same word on all those papers. A pile of papers, but you can't read it. But you can't read it, but you can't read it, but you can't read it, but you can't... Oh my god. Some books, just looking at them gives you a headache. A world globe, here we are. Get a little indication here. A rolled up paper, you unroll one. It's a star chart, lovely. Wait, could that help? No, okay. Star chart. So maybe we have to just look through the freaking telescope. The telescope, it's dusty. Or maybe just here, a big window. Stars! But don't they only appear at night? You forget what you're going to have time. Oh, that's the... You've noticed you starting to forget whole loops. You can barely remember anything that happened before you started looping in time. You can barely remember anything that happened before. Oh my god. You breathe out and unclench your fists. What you can't remember and doesn't matter much now right now, but it, like in a way, like it's, I know it doesn't matter right now in this moment, but like you've looped so many times that some of the loops you're not remembering stuff. That would mess with your mind so much, right? The king, does he want you to remember something? You should go and ask the king what he wants you to remember later. See if you okay? Lost in thought, Siffrin? You open your eyes, smile, and shake your head. And the fact that we're continuing to hide this from our party members, we can't even confide in them. Loop is the only one we can confide in. You have to keep going. And then that thing as well, you have to keep going. You can't stop here. It's just like determination and guilt and this feeling of like, I need to protect my family. I need to protect the people I love. How tormented would you feel, by the way? You know, you're looking at this, but you find no meaning. And you start to like think, man, I don't even remember what happened in that loop. What happened this day? If you're reborn 38 times, already that's like a mockery of like the world itself, right? Like, what is that? I've come back 38 times. And then thinking about what is left in, like, you know, the worlds that you leave behind. And then what that does to your brain, knowing that like these are the people you adore and they're dying and you're dying not each time, but there's death each time. There's some suffering in some like runs that we've done, you know what I mean? There's like some pain, there's really some pain, right? So a lot of pain, emotional, physical, like pain. And the guilt we might feel and Siffrin might feel for not remembering some of that pain. Sometimes that can be even worse. It's like, because they feel like they have to like carry this burden for themselves. And this idea that they have to like, you know, remember all this stuff and carry on for their party member, but they can't even like do the least, which is like, I'm not even there sometimes in my brain when stuff happens. I think we explored all we need to explore here. I keep saying that to us. Look at this. It's so weird. I think we've explored what we need to explore here. Yeah, because I've looked at everything. Let's yeah. It's horrible if we have to do this again, but we do have to do this again. Yeah, that not remembering loops like is almost like it's not worse than like remembering a loop, right? It's not, because remembering a loop is remembering all the pain that like it was inflicted on you, your party, hearing Bonnie's footsteps run away, looking at Odil's face and Isabeau's face, and remembering the pain that you felt. But it's really still a horrible feeling to think that you're not remembering all the stuff that's happening here, you know? A very horrible thing. You wake up, you dreamt about eating rotten apple, your stomach hurts. Sorry, the rotten apple stuff is very interesting to me. Yeah, we'll save our progress. It's very interesting to me. Wait. Oh no. We looped in that time 7 times without us knowing? Oh no. Oh, wait, so I wonder if the fish thing was a part of that too, where it's like in one of the loops we like kind of like had this feeling. Oh no. That is horrible. Now we can't remember like 8 of the loops we've gone through. 8 of the times that we've been around our party. That is horrific. That is horrific. Let's get right into it. That is, it makes me feel sick. What that does to your brain. To know you look back at the king. So now we have to ask these questions again. I think it might be good to go to the Housemaiden after this too, so I think we'll win this battle this time as well. I'm sorry, I was just checking my fan there. I have a fan turned on. I hope it's not annoying the sound for you guys. It's just getting extremely hot, and I want to be comfortable and healthy as I'm recording these videos. I think not being comfortable during these videos, it would be a very bad idea. Wait. Oh, I thought we didn't have ass for a second. So we have... What should I remember? Every single time you face him, he asks if you remember. There's something you think you should know. He thinks you should know, should remember, but does it really matter, Siffrin? He could just be trying to confuse it. I mean, I think it does. I mean, to them, it's not, right? If they knew we were going through loops and numbers, like, 46 times, then it would matter. You know what I mean? But to them, it's the same day. Yeah. Speaking of riddles Siffrin, stop trying to confuse him. He hasn't forgotten anything. Oh my god, we've forgotten so much. We've zoned out. We've forgotten stuff. We've forgotten the idea around food. We've forgotten 8 loops. There's 8 loops that happened, and we don't even know what happened. Did we die? Did our friends die? Did something horrible and horrific happen? Did we slip on a banana peel? Did we go back and talk to Luke? We don't know. You're trying to think about it, but what have I forgotten?
Forgotten? Oh, bright one, why would you ask? Don't you know at this point what you've forgotten? Haven't you always known? Can't you see the hole that was left behind? If not, we'll use to fill it? Don't you feel it? Its absence? What the crap is he? All of it. You forgot it all, bright one. They all have. We all have.
Wait, what? No one can say it? No one can even remember it? It escapes us. It will escape. It keep escaping us. Why don't you remember? I can tell everything from your accent to the way you use craft to the stitching on your cloak and the hat to the pins you wear. You should remember? Are we from the same place as the king? Please, just remember it. Say it. Make it real. Please, if you can remember, then maybe. What is happening? What is happening? Is he okay? Something we've all forgotten? I haven't forgotten anything, stupid. What? This is terrifying. Something you've forgotten. Something everyone has, even if they don't pay attention to it. The hole it has left behind. Something bigger than the stars. What you're just trying to remember doesn't exist anymore, but someone might still have proof it existed, haven't they? Wait, do we have to ask Loop about this? Where are you from? So there's something that we all forgot that the king wants us to remember of us of all people. They talk about the stitching of our clothing, so what if it's something about where we're from? Where are you from? The king looks straight at you.
What about you, bright one? Where are you from?
You flinch. Oh god! You do not answer. You cannot answer. You hear the king laugh. Ask. What in the fricking world? I guess we're gonna fight the king again, right? We're gonna fight the king again. We're gonna be looping back. We're at 1,000 health right now. So there's something that we forgot. Are we gonna? I wonder who we can talk to about that though. Loop is probably the one, right? Loop. Jesus Christ, man. This is a lot. This is a lot. And I'm wondering, that's my theory. I'm not saying it's what's happening, but is it possible that like we are from the same place that the king is from, and that's what he's saying. You of all people should remember this. Your clothes, your stitching, all this stuff. I wonder. Turn it up. I'm gonna give it to Odile. We're actually getting some good damage in here before we have the attack, right? Surprisingly enough. Here it is. Yeah. Now, people give me an idea when the trigger point is. I just didn't realize. Because that happens sometimes on like a Dark Souls boss, right? And like, I love Souls games. I love stuff like this. I'm sorry, I'm not comparing this to Dark Souls, by the way. I'm saying like the feeling, right? You're still here. And the feeling I'm talking about is this, right? When you have a boss that you defeat randomly the first time without actually using any strategy, and it feels very easy. The example I would give this is probably like Bloodborne. There was a boss I fought late game, and I remember I beat it first try very easily, but I didn't use any strategy. I just randomly beat it. And then the second playthrough I did, you go in with the mindset of like, oh, I can do this, right? Which is a good mindset to have, but because you don't have an actual strategy or know the actual way you did it the first time, you just use the shield or whatever, use the moving shield. You tend to like, I feel like anyway, I tend to like then just like mess up a lot more because now you're trying to use a strategy that you don't have. You know what I mean? You don't know the actual idea behind the strategy. In this boss, I defeated the first time just randomly using the shield at the right time. Now I know the trigger point for the shield and the health bar and all this stuff. It's now more, would you say, applicable? It's easier now, but I came in and got trashed a bunch of times because I didn't even understand what I did the first time when I did it easily. You know what I mean? I beat it easily the first time. And again, I want to say, I'm only comparing it to Souls because that's the way I like, I remember stuff is from the games I love myself. But it's the same with anything. Like, I remember, like, as a kid, I would, like, beat Final Fantasy bosses, like, and Lost Odyssey bosses, like, nothing. And it's probably because you didn't think about it as much, right? And then, like, when I was older and I played Lost Odyssey again, another turn-based combat game, I remember being like, this boss is so freaking difficult. What the hell's wrong with this game, man? And then I remember, like, but I got past this part as a kid. I was like, I got past this part when I was, like, 12. You know what I mean? Maybe not 12. I think I was a little bit older, but yeah. It's maybe, I don't know. But still, pretty, you know what I mean. Let's press our craft. Boop. Okay, so let's do a pretty buffy friend, maybe? I'm gonna try to get the hand slaps in again, maybe. So now for this part, yes, sure. I wonder if the housemaiden might, yeah, I wonder actually if the housemaiden might know something, maybe. We could try. That was a good critical though, wasn't it? Rose, there we go. Another good bit of damage there as well. Mega Sparkle Heal, Rondo, Super Sparkle Heal. Why not? No reason not to. Do another big attack. I think we're better at the combat now from failing though a bunch of times, right? 100%. Yes, buddy! Should we do the slowdown again? We can't do it, yeah, okay. Well, remember, when they wait that one turn, that's when we have to do what we have to do. Right, that's when we have to do it. Yeah. Lovely stuff. You can heal if you want. You can heal all you want. That's fine. You heal. You be yourself. You be you. Craft. Is this it? This is the lovely... So we have to use it now? Somehow. We need one more turn. Oh no. Will this count as your turn? Hopefully. Barely got that out, by the way, guys. Barely. Barely got that out. Lovely shot there for us as well. Lovely Mega Sparkle Heal. Boost everything if we can. And just use a paper 3. Nice little bit of damage, and then slap them around the place. Good bit of damage. Good bit of damage. Good bit of damage. Good bit of damage. We could go for a fist move now as well. Or actually, we can go for... Yeah, I think we should, actually. Because then we can do this instead. Little jolly. Wait, oh no, they're not weak to it. What am I doing here? That's my bad, guys. I just completely forgot. You have to do this first. Sometimes I just don't notice basic stuff when I'm going around the other parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it seems like stuff you should know, right? But then I just, like, don't even, like, think of it that way sometimes, you know? You're just like, oh, you just kind of go casually through it sometimes because you're so used to it. Nice bit of weakness there as well. Always make sure our healer is healed, right? Knife to meet you. Lovely again. We might have it here. Yes. And we have the big moment again as well. Sounds like that's just not the guess for the Ada. This is a great moment. It's honestly like one of the few joys we have in this game. It's this like beautiful moment. This is like final game of like any other game. This is the final moment, right? In a way that's like a torture amongst itself. You all attack the king and hit as hard as you could. Mirabelle attacks, brings down to his knees. Because I want to talk to the housemaid again, right? And see if the housemaid can do something. I can't disappear, not yet.
Not when I still can't say it.
So that's what it is. There's something that we have to say that they want Siffrin to say. Something we've forgotten. That's what that means. Something that we've forgotten that they can't say either. They want us to say. I mean, go through this as well. I want to ask that housemaid. You're happy to see him. We did it, Maribel. We did it. Yeah, and there's that stuff again as well. I want desperately to ask the housemaiden if they know about what they could talk about. I don't know if like we can, because they don't seem to know about the 46 loops. They don't seem to know about the loop, right? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And the housemaid. There's the housemaid as well. One of the best designs in the game for sure. It might not even change this time around. Third time's the charm, isn't it? If you talk to the housemaid, will the loop break? Will you? No, it's not going to break. Will you loop back once more? I think we will. But will it be the same conversations we had before? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's the same conversations before. Holy hell, man. This was a crazy episode for me. Before you forget, though, do you have some snacks left? I guess that's stuff. Is that something we saw? Again, I'm so confused sometimes. When they have the fast forward thing, usually means you can fast forward it. I love these characters so much. And then... Again, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna break. I don't think we're even gonna get a chance to ask. Maybe we might even not even get a chance to ask the housemaid anything, right? Wait. So it's interrupted again. But we talked to Mirabelle, right? I'm still glad we need to win. Can you believe it? This calls for a group hug. Wait, what? Of course you pass. I thought we talked to Mirabelle already, though. So group hug. Group hug. Group hug. Yay! You watch Mirabelle, Isabeau, and Bonnie hug. Interesting. What did you have to... Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. It wasn't that important. Come on, go talk to everyone. I have some thinking to do. But Sif, I'm glad this is over. I can't wait to go back to my old job, you know. Make sure to say hi when you're near Javante, okay? So they're going to say I love you, right? That's what they're going to say. Yeah, very, very interesting situation to be in when anyone telling you how they feel about you, right? We talked to Mirabel already, right? Yeah, so no matter what, it's going to get interrupted some way, which I think is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Are you done talking with your companions? I'd like to thank you for your accompanying young Maribel this far. I'm very grateful. Siffrin, yes? If there's anything I can do to thank you, please don't hesitate to let me know. I know you'll be back on your travels soon, but I hope you'll keep in touch, if only for young Maribel. Same as usual, it seems. Maybe if you start something else still... Yes. Surprise her somehow? Will you repeat the same lines again? The same lines? What do you... No! We broke it ourselves! Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it didn't work. She said something slightly different here, but then went right back to her script. That is so crazy. We literally like... Huh? Guys, so sorry about that, but yeah, it like, obviously, like, you know, that we saw this moment before, but... Something crazy just happens. I'm going to explain after this. I'm not going to break the moment here, but I'll explain to you just in terms of the recording here. It's not that big of a deal, but it was just to do with the recording. Everything's there, don't worry, but like it was very strange. Back when everything started, yeah, you almost choke on the smell of burnt sugar around you. I know you... Oh my god, and we're like, asked them to say something different. Do you have anything new to say? I know you thought you... It's just a script. It's like a script, right? I know you thought your quest was over, but it can't be. Something's broken, something's failing, something's rotting. I can't fix it on my own before it all ends. If only I noticed sooner. I should have seen it, prevented it. She didn't deviate from her script even once. It seems she really will repeat the exact same thing every time. You feel it tugging your stomach again? It's all my fault. You have this would be tormenting to hear a character say the same thing that you heard before, wanting desperately for them just to say something different, to the point that now Siffrin's just like, oh my god, you're reading from a script. It has to feel horrible. I just hope that one day you might learn to forgive. What would they have to forgive? And we have to start in loop 49. You're back here again. Performing is getting tiring. To explain what just happened, by the way, with the recording. In the weirdest thing that has ever occurred. I record this stuff on a Steam Deck, by the way. I have a dock that like basically is like a mini PC that you record things to, and then I use my Xbox controller. It's actually really good. It's really fantastic. It's awesome. But the dock requires you to plug in the actual dock. Somehow the dock wasn't plugged in, but it recorded for a full hour. And it still was on my TV for an hour. And all of a sudden, kind of like out of nowhere, it turned off and realized it wasn't... I don't know how to even describe it. Out of nowhere, it just went no signal. And all of a sudden, it wasn't... It stayed recording, like the recording stayed, because the recording is separate. But it's almost like it realized it wasn't docked, like, but it was. Now, I'm guessing what happened is, now this is my estimation, is that since it's connected to a capture card, the capture card somehow acted as a power source since it's connected to a power source like my computer. So I'm guessing that's what happened. Is that but since the capture card isn't supposed to be a dock for a freaking machine like this, it kind of like was stable for a bit, then became unstable. Kind of crazy with that I was able to like have this plugged in and it recorded for almost a full hour without being docked. It's so crazy to me. I want to go talk to Loop about this, by the way. For sure. Crazy, yeah. I wanted to say what just happened there just so you guys didn't think it was like a really scary thing, because it made it sound really scary. It's not scary. It was just like a thing where it was like, oh, you know, that's what happened. The incident. Yeah. I think that's what happened. It just like the power source was like and can I be honest about like you know what it felt like for a second? I genuinely thought that the game was doing like a thing where it messed with your computer or something like that. I genuinely thought it was doing like a kind of a fourth wall thing. I got so scared for a second. But then I saw there was no signal on the OBS and I was like, okay, it's something else. There's a legit moment of me being like, oh, are they fourth wall breaking here? But no, they're not. Yeah, we'll have a laugh with Isa to make ourselves feel better for a second as well. Closer. So we're starting to be, as expected, his hand stopped over your shoulder. Yeah, like before as well. I need Loop to tell me what to do here. I need Loop to tell me what to do now. I really do. I need Loop to help me. Hi, Stardust. Are you calling your party family members now? You know, this sounds really awkward, right? No, it's beautiful. You're awkward. Take that. Oh, somehow this one seems to have hit home. You feel a little bad. Here's the thing. I don't fully trust Loop. I don't. And also, like, as I said last time, I felt like the way Loop was acting with us felt like a bit of prodding on some sensitive issues that wasn't very fun. You know what I mean? Anyway, how can I help you on this wonderful new Loop? So they didn't like us saying that, by the way. I had a question about... Not... Actually, nah. What should I do next? Find out more about the king? Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. I saw what it was. Why would anyone know if it's important if they can't remember? Except, you know, don't you something no one can remember, something other than the stars? You have proof. You just need to go and find it again. The diary? Yeah, including you. But why would anyone write down what they've forgotten? Why would anyone know its importance if they can't remember? Except, you know, don't you? Something no one can remember? Something other than the stars? You have proof. You just need to go and find it again. What was that? You don't want to have to open the diary again? Which diary was that again? Would you have to? Which diary was that? What diary was that? I might be so silly here as well, but... Maybe nothing here as well? So we need to find that diary. That's what we need to find. I wonder, okay, I'm guessing that we probably have to go up to the actual library in the house of... Now, since we're gonna loop back anyway, I wonder if it's a good idea to... We'd have to go through all the conversations again, won't we? You know what we'll do? We'll loop forward first of all. Where was the library again? Was that second floor? I think it was second floor, right? So what we'll do is we'll loop forward first and we'll loop back again. So then we'll do all the stuff we need to do after that as well. You broke your head up. Oh my god, why would you say that? I think it was second floor, right? We'll check the library out here to see if there's a diary here as well. 50? You could do some math to figure out how many days and weeks and months you've been stuck here. You don't always spend very long in a single loop, but sometimes you do spend more than 24 hours there. So doing the math would be easy enough, but you won't because you're smart. You can guess what it would do to your brain. Yes, 100%. Back to it. It would mess with you so badly to think about like the amount of loops and the timing of the loops and how many loops you went through. The library's up here. Yeah, it is up here, isn't it? Yeah. It's not here, is it? You guys thought it was there. Oh, lovely. More battles, my favorite thing in this game. Oh, lovely. Again, the battle system is fun. It's just that I definitely like feel it. I definitely am starting to like feel it a bit obviously not the way Siffrin was feeling, because Siffrin has these roadblocks directly in front of them. It's here, isn't it? Yes. So, is it the secret library? There it is, a sparkly diary. Mirabelle has you looking. Oh, this looks like fairly recent. We could read a little bit, like a tiny bit. You probably should right now. Sure. We don't have time. This is the library, diary we read before, right? Now I remember what this was. Yeah, I remember we looked at this, but is there going to be new information here? But no sound comes out? The name of this country. You try to remember. Remember. Only silence answers you. Is this what the king wanted you to remember? Just remember it. Say it. Make it real. You can't say it. You don't even want to try it, but... You turn to Isabeau. But can you try and say it anyway? But why? It's just going to give me a... Oh, it's that word. Yes, right? Yes, the place that disappeared. Yes. Isabeau looks at you. Something about your expression makes him reconsider. Well, sure, Sif. I'll say it. That country's name was... You know, I had it before, but now I'm actively trying to remember, nothing comes to mind. Is that so? You're dumb, so I know it. It's... Wait, what? But... Wait. Huh? What's... I can't remember it either, yeah? When you asked me, answer you felt automatic, like if you asked me what 1 + 1 makes, so everyone just forgot about it? But trying to remember now is more like calculating 72 times 89. That's... Okay, that's 6,408. I have a brain, and I know how to use it. I know you're smart. Yeah, but even that's like ultra smart. What? Isabeau? Now, I felt more like asking to remember my first... What? So the idea of like asking to remember this place felt like remembering something that like is in your head in some way, but it's so hazy that like you couldn't even like... You can't picture your first steps, right? You can't. It's something that's known to you like physically, like it's a part of you, but you can't remember it. How can I remember that? I can't remember that. How can you expect me to remember that? Exactly. Your first steps, you can remember your first steps. You can't. But I get what he's saying. I think it's like something that like you was a part of you, or something that was a part of your life, but you can't remember it. I can't seem to remember it either. When we were talking about it, I could think it clearly, but trying to remember it now, say it. I can't remember the country itself either. I just remember there was an island north of Vagard, yes. And it had a different belief than the change belief, didn't it? Something about the sky? You know, the universe. That's right, the universe. Oh yeah, like stars and stuff. We all know that people could remember that country clearly before. And my head is killing me. And we know that trying to remember stuff makes our brains hurt. Let's stop here. It'd be bad to fight the king with the raging migraine. Yeah. Sorry we couldn't say it, Sif. You don't respond. Stars. So the king is from that country as well. The country no one can remember. Your country. The country you were born and raised and spent your entire childhood. So we're from the country that frickin' disappeared. Or Siffrin is. And yet, even now, thinking about it, what it may have looked like. You can't even imagine it. Oh my god. So like obviously what they were saying, it made sense. It was building up to that with the stitching of clothing. Our clothing is from there for a long time now. You haven't been able to remember anything about it. You forget it even exists half the time. Anything linked to that country has just stopped existing for you. Your childhood, your parents, your life, your language, your culture, your faith, the stars, the constellations, the universe. It's all gone, forgotten. Imagine forgetting the entire place that you came from. And that's what the king wants, to be able to say it? Just to be able to say it? The name of the place? The king. He was from there, you're sure of it. And then something happened and the country disappeared without a trace, unable to be remembered by anyone. No one can remember whatever made everyone forget about his very existence. But something must have, right? So something must have documented it? If it happened, if he's so attached to it, he can ask you if you remember it every single time you see him. If he's so attached to that country, why would he be obsessed with Vagard then? Something happened that made him want to find a place that was like a utopia in his eyes. Why would he decide to freeze all in time? You can't figure it out quite yet, but there must be something somewhere. Something that's similar to his goal? Wait, is that... Wait, what? Wait. Do we talk to Loop again? Do I have to go back and talk to Loop now again? So we found out that Siffrin is, like we said, we thought, is from the same place as the king, the island up in the north of Vaugarde that disappeared. Something happened there that made the king desperately want to, like, come here and find some sort of, like, utopia. I think we have to go back to Loop. I could be wrong, but I think Loop would be the best option, right? I know it's bad. I know we're looping like crazy nowadays, but you had a good sleep. I know it's bad, right? You wake up, you dreamt about the tick of a clock. You hear it still. We're going to end the video here, guys, by the way. But I want to say... 54 loops. Jesus Christ. Did we forget another loop? Maybe. So what we found out in this episode is not only that Siffrin's mind is like deteriorating and getting more, they're thinking more inwards as well. They're punishing themselves. But now they have a whole new facet of things that they have to worry about when it comes to their own mental health, and also like looking directly at when interacting, I should say, with the rest of the party members. We talked about last time how they have these like, compulsions, and someone I think in the comments confirmed that's kind of what it is. They have these compulsions where they will say stuff over and over again. They'll hit their face. They'll have to do something to make sure it doesn't happen. If I think about something good, something bad will happen. Like there is like a compulsion like that as well, element to it as well. But now they, on top of all that, they have to think of something that like is a very real thing that could happen. We know this, but it's also a thing where it's like, it's going to mess with their head even more than like the actual reality of what would happen. Siffrin attacking that creature, Siffrin being too powerful. They're thinking to themselves now, I have to make myself look weaker. I have to make myself feel weaker. I have to make sure that they don't notice that I am different to them now, because that will make them suspect that something is happening, because they don't want anyone to know what is happening to them. Terrifying. On top of all of the inward compulsion, also all the compulsions they have, all the inward thoughts they have, all the self-doubt, the constant going over stuff in their head that is hurting them so badly, they now have to deal with like a very, again, it's real in a sense where it's like they would be kind of weirded out with the idea of like, oh, Siffrin's so powerful. What the hell? How'd you get so powerful? But obviously, like the outcome of that wouldn't be as bad as Siffrin thinks. I don't think that we get to a stage with Siffrin that they would like hate them. But now all Siffrin is thinking is the look on Odil's face when Siffrin was being so powerful and destroying this creature, like this, just dismantling them. The look on Odil's face was holding everyone back, protecting them from Siffrin. And Siffrin will never forget that look. We know that now the housemaiden is going to be on a script all the time, but again, if we're talking about how it messes with and when I say, by the way, it's real, by the way, the feeling that Siffrin has, it's real that yes, they would react in a weird way, but I think Siffrin then again is making, in his own mind, something even larger about it, right? And I think that's what happens in people's brains, especially with mental health stuff. It's like, yes, my friend is going to be upset that I decided not to show up to the party today, right? This is a bad example. Maybe it's not a bad example. Yes, they're going to be upset a little bit, but it's not going to end our friendship. But in the mind of someone like Siffrin, it could be a thing where it's like, now they hate me. Now they never want to look at me again. They never want to talk to me. And then you distance yourself from someone. Something so small like that seems like very, very small to other people, where it's like, oh, like Siffrin's not texting me back and he hasn't texted me back for 2 weeks. It's like, what's wrong? It's like, well, he didn't come to the party and like, I was a bit upset by it, but like, I'm over now. But they won't text me back. And now in the character, the person who's like Siffrin is now distancing themselves from that person because they don't want to deal with the reality of how they might have upset them. In their mind, it's way worse. In their mind, they're going around telling everybody, oh, this person sucks, this person's this. In reality, it was just probably, it wouldn't be as bad, but Siffrin is, again, in their own mind. They're in their own mind. And I do think that if they explain what's happening, there would be a better explanation. But again, there is a real worry that comes along with it, where it's like, well, what are they going to say? You're telling us we die every time. You're telling us that like you go through all these loops. All that stuff is going through Siffrin's head. And now you saw it even in the observatory, going and talking to, like, going to the books and being like, you can't read, saying stuff multiple times over and over again, almost talking to themselves in that way too. And then with the housemaiden, with the loop thing as well, knowing that they will always have the same script, it almost broke Siffrin down in a way that was kind of just like melancholic. It's like, okay, you have a script now. You have a script. We know now that we are from the same place as the king. We know this. We know that something happened there that made the place disappear, that made the king want to come here, and that the name of this place that everyone knows, but it gives them a headache. But now we're learning that if they try to remember it, they actually just forget it, which is a scary thing as well. So wherever Siffrin and the king is from, something happened there that made the king want to come here and create a utopia of some kind. To create like this not create a utopia, to encase a utopia, what they felt like it was a utopia. And if you look at what happens here, they believe it's very welcoming, it's beautiful, it's calm, everyone's happy. So obviously in the island north of Vagard, it's not very welcoming, it's not very happy, and they wanted to create something that's the opposite. Or maybe it was like that and they got destroyed and they want to make sure that doesn't happen, or change maybe, and they want to make sure that doesn't happen here as well. They want to do the opposite of change as well. So much stuff going on in this story, so much terrifying, worrying, horrible stuff. It is an incredible game, but also just like a very terrifying game at the same time too. I think that Siffrin is destroying themselves, not by their own fault, but being in their own head. And again, I want to make it clear, this is something they can't help, right? This is not something that they're that they want to happen. You know what I mean? If you asked any single person who is going through this type of stuff in their mind, whether it be the compulsions or the mental health aspects or the sadness or the self-hatred and stuff like this, the doubt, the self-doubt, am I doing this for the right reasons? Which again is another very normal thing I believe as well, which is like you help someone, you open the door for someone as they walk out. And people who have that mindset will go, did I open the door because I wanted to look like I was good, or I wanted them to like me, or did I do it because it's a good thing to do? When again, the normal occurrence is the person just thought, oh, that's nice, right? But again, I'm not saying it's not normal, by the way. I'm saying I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I mean like in terms of like what the other person, the occurrence that happened, not the, I didn't make it, I made it sound bad. I'm not trying to say that one person's normal, one person's not. I'm saying that the occurrence that happened, the normal occurrence, the active thing that happened there was that everyone sees is open the door. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Help me through. Everyone sees and goes, oh, that's very kind. You know what I mean? And goes about their day for the rest of the day. Right? When in reality, inside someone like Siffrin's head is like, I opened the door for someone. Did that person think I was just doing it just for the sake of it? Did they think that I was trying to look cool? That it's like nice? All the stuff. They go through that in their head and they think about that for days. And it's horrible that Siffrin is going through this. Not only do they have this monstrous loop where they're constantly going through this world and they're seeing all this bad stuff happen, but they can't confide in anyone but a character like Loop, who is poking and prodding a little bit, I feel like, as well, who never really fully, like, we can trust fully. And we have to think about all the stuff that's happening to our family as well, our party members. It's a really horrific time for Siffrin. And I don't know how I would, They will hopefully get through this. Hopefully. I'm hoping that there's a thing at the end where we will get through this. But I don't know where the story is going, but it is quite terrifying. It's terrifying. Here's the thing. Like the king stuff is scary. The new island stuff is scary. The disappearance of the island stuff is scary. But am I right to say, when maybe you guys agree with me, the more terrifying aspect for me is like, if you told me you had to be within your own thoughts and you couldn't confide in anyone and all this stuff, like, alone, that's already horrible, right? But imagine having to like go through 54 different times. Some of them you don't remember even. And you know each single time there's a failure there. It's not only just about death. Death is a really horrible thing, and think about your friends dying is a horrible thing. Thinking about people dying and wanting to protect people, that's horrible. It's not just about that. It's failing each time. The frustration. Think about what happens when you play a video game and you fail something 50 times. It feels kind of bad. And that's just a video game. Imagine failing to save the world and save yourself and save everyone around you 54 times. And you still feel no closer to an answer. Maybe a little bit closer with all the stuff with the king and stuff like that. But yeah, we know that Siffrin is from the same place as the king, the island north of Vagard. I think they set that up pretty well with the diary and stuff like that. I didn't expect them to set it up that way. I forgot about the diary, but then remembered as soon as we got to it. Guys, that's going to do it for this episode. My heart breaks for Siffrin. They're going through something that, like, again, it's something a lot of people feel, whether it be like the compulsions that they have or the mental health aspect, the dark mental health aspects, or this the kind of like very sad aspects of their personality and stuff. I guess they're going through all of that stuff, right? But as I said, it's something a lot of people go through, but it's the situation that they're in as well, which is like makes it even darker. It's like and it's the same thing with anyone who goes through type of stuff. If you put them in a situation where they're forced, I think this thing, I know it sounds sad. Siffrin is forced to think by themselves for 90% of this game. And every single time they think for a second about something or something like that, they're asked, "Are you okay?" And instantly they think, oh, I gotta keep up appearances. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. They can't even like spend that time truly like being inward because they still have to worry about everyone else as well. So how do I describe it? It's like they're constantly like within their own thoughts, but they can never truly make a breakthrough because they have to worry about the outward stuff as well all the time as well. It's like the inward, and this is like, again, you guys, people who know about this stuff know better. No, I'm not trying to diagnose anyone with anything. I want to make that perfectly clear. But to me, what I think is happening with Siffrin is that they are constantly thinking about all the inward inside their head. They're constantly thinking about all this outward stuff. How will this happen? When will this happen? Can I save this? Can I do this? There is too much on one person's mind and shoulders in this game. Half of this stuff would destroy me. A quarter of the stuff would ruin you. You know what I mean? It's horrible. But there's so many other things. Keeping my friends alive. Am I from the same place as this king? What does the king want? What is this place that we can't remember? Am I a good person? Am I doing this for the right reasons? If I think if it's too many good things, something bad will happen. What does Isabeau want to say to me? I know it's not Isabeau's fault either, by the way. What does this person think of me? If I don't do this, will this person hate me? There's so many things on Siffrin's mind, and it's a lot. It's so much. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting the series. Thank you to my patrons at the highest tier. That being Typhar 2, JB Bull, Jeddah the Bedada, the Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Radish, Adusta, Death Trap, Links Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Heck, Leon, Hike Experian, Jared being up the highest streamer YouTube, Royal Game of 7 and Blasco, and I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.